All right, so this go around, we got the best French food, what to eat in France. Now, I've looked at some French videos on a separate channel. This go around, I'm a fat boy. I like to eat.
I'm gonna eat you! I'm bigger than you, I'm higher in the food chain! Get in my belly!
I've seen some of the British foods and stuff like that. I've got something planned for quite a bit of stuff as far as that's concerned in the upcoming weeks. I've got a little bit different way I'm going to take and go about some content here in the next couple, expected about the next month. But outside of that, I'm a fat boy. I like to eat, and French food is considered one of the, I guess a premier cuisine, like really fancy classical type food. So yeah, let's take a look at the types of food they eat, and yeah, let's get to it.
Hey there, fellow travelers. Mark here with Walter's World, and today we're here in Paris. And today we're going to talk about are the most French food that you can have when you're here in Paris. And I'll be honest, these are like the French staples that you can find all over the country. But if you want to make sure you hit like the most important things, these are it. But I have to warn you, if you're coming to France, every region has their own specialty. So if you're going to Normandy, it's going to have some different.
Did I say frog legs are harder to find? Yes, frog legs are harder to find these days. I'm going to tell you, why is that considered a French food? Like, that's just poor folks' food around here, because I've been frog gigging. Went and gig frogs and then skin it and fry it and eat it. So, yeah.
Region has their own specialty. So if you're going to Normandy, it's going to have some different specialties, like the cider that's out there, the oysters, versus if you're going to go to Nice in the south with the different seafoods they have down there. So just want to give a heads up. So this is kind of like your go-to Frenchiest of the French food to have when you're here. And if you're looking for a starter, you can't get more French than escargot. Yes, snails, okay? If you have had snails before, they're fantastic. And the thing is, they're just drowned in butter when you're here and you have them. And they'll give you this weird little like contraption to hold it because that pan's gonna be hot. So you grab it, use a little fork, poke them out, eat them. Kids love them, adults love them.
Smothered in butter. I mean, when all else fails, butter makes just about anything edible.
Everyone loves them. If you haven't had them before, you're gonna find them on menus all over Paris. So get that. Another good starter, or if you're not really super hungry, you're looking for something to keep you going until a great dinner at night, is of course French onion soup, or as they call it here, just onion soup, soup à l'oignon. You could have that, and what it is like you have the beef broth with the onions in there, and there's bread and the cheese on top, and oh my God, it's so good. But I will tell you, when you get it, be careful, because when you kind of poke it through the cheese and through the bread to get to the soup, it's going to be like boiling hot. So be aware of that if you're going to get it for your kids, okay?
Wait, so you got cheese and then bread and then the soup underneath? Oh, that sounds like something I want to try. One of my favorite things I've ever had was clam chowder in a sourdough bread bowl. This being onion soup and a layer of cheese, a layer of bread. You can never go wrong with bread when it comes to soup in the first place, right? You can use it to sop it up and everything. But then you got the soup underneath. Like, I'm not really a big onion person, but I'm pretty sure there's probably onions that have probably been sauteed and, used it in probably a chicken stock of some sort, if I had to venture a guess. Probably wrong on that, but just seems like the most logical. Yeah, I want to try.
Or for yourself, because I've lost a few taste buds over the years over being too excited for my French onion soup, okay? Now, another kind of quickie you can get when you're here, and you'll actually see it on the trains, on the SNCF trains as well, is the croque monsieur, which is basically the French ham and cheese sandwich, but like grilled ham and cheese sandwich, and it's fantastic. You got bread, ham, cheese, it's like Gruyere over top, or Emmental. Like,
do the French put cheese on top of everything? Because it looks like it's melted cheese on top of the bread and the sandwich. Which, I mean, I'm not going to complain. I mean, I would eat it. Like I said, fat boy likes to eat. But still, that's just, okay.
People use different cheeses on it, but it is so good. But you're not really always going to eat it with your hands. You might cut it with a fork and knife sometimes, especially if you get it for kids or on the train. I would recommend that to keep your hands from getting all the greasiness there. But that's a very easy, like, typical snack thing you're going to see. Now, if you want another really good snack that you might get at a bakery or you might get at a shop or a bistro, quiche Lorraine. Okay, this is a ham and cheese quiche. All right, it is the most popular quiche. It is the go-to quiche to have when you are here, and you can get it as a slice. You get a little version of it, you get a whole one, whatever you want. But you'll see that a lot of places, and I do recommend you getting.
Why does that look like an egg pie? That's just what that reminds me of, an egg pie.
5 minutes later.
Quiche. Savory tart with custard filling, typically made with eggs, milk, or cream and cheese. Okay, so yeah. All right. It sounds interesting enough to try, at least.
It's actually one of the foods I require myself to have when I first come here. So when we got here the other day, I went to the bakery and I got myself a croissant and a piece of quiche Lorraine because it is a must when you're here. And speaking of those croissants, that is another thing you should have. You need to go to a bakery when you're here, and there's 3 things I recommend getting. 1, get a butter croissant. Look, it is better than any crescent roll you had back home. You want to have one of those. Then there's pain au chocolat, which is basically a chocolate croissant. It is fantastic. You want to have that. And then you just want to grab a baguette. And I know it sounds silly when people say, oh, just grab a baguette and cheese and sit out here on the Seine or on the river and look at and take in the sights. Really, the baguettes here are that good. The bread is fantastic here, okay? So grab a baguette and some butter, and honestly, that can be a lunch because it's so good. But if you want to spice up the lunch a little bit, another thing you have to have when you come here are the cheeses. And you'll see the fromagerie, the cheese shops around. And so you can go, it's literally like there'll be a bakery here and there'll be a cheese shop here and maybe a butcher in between. And you can get your meat, your cheese, and your bread.
See, that's one of the things here, like local to me. We actually had, I believe we've got 2 cheese shops, which they've got cheeses that are locally made, but also they've imported cheeses, which is, I mean, normally if you wanted fancy cheese, you had to go to Whole Foods or you had to go to like Lowe's food store or something like that. Because that's where they got all the fancy schmancy beers, which not even gonna lie, I love craft beer, so I can't say too much on that. I've spent $16, $17 on a 4-pack of craft IPA. That's an Imperial IPA at like 12%. That uses 1 specific or 2 specific different hops that are not only dry hopped, but also, you know, it's the flavor just being absolutely crazy. And one of them will, one or 2 of them at 12% will definitely do you. Or some of the really great either barley wines or stouts that are local that are sold in that store. But they also have an area that not only can you get some aged meats, but also some fresh and also imported cheeses that otherwise going to Wally World, you're not going to be able to find. So I need to take a check out some cheese the cheese shop, because I do like cheese. My wife doesn't like stuff like Asiago or blue cheese and some other stuff like that, but I love trying cheeses because of the different flavor and tartness and everything like that you can get from them. Texture, creaminess, everything of that nature. So a cheese shop I would feel right at home.
All together. And there's tons and tons of great cheeses from all over France. Just pick one that looks good to you, or 2 or 3, and have that. But the cheeses that are here are unbelievable, okay? Now, if you're looking for another quick snack when you're going by, I know I'm talking about the bakery stuff a lot, but they're important, are tarts. There's tarte tatin, which is a like apple tart, but Jocelyn's favorite is the lemon tart, or tarte citron, which is fantastic. I like pear tarts. So you have a lot of these little sweet, cakes you can have, which are wonderful, or tarts, I should say. And I know if we're talking about sweets and nice little easy things to eat, I think one of the ones that's really important, my kids would probably kill me if I did not tell you about it, is just grabbing a crepe on the street, getting a crepe with Nutella inside. It is one of those must-haves when you're here in Paris.
A crepe with Nutella.
You can go inside and you can have the crepe with Nutella, the sweet one, or you can have a galette, which
that
is
sounds
a
fantastic
one.
to me.
You can do that as well. So
I mean, you think about it. I mean, a crepe takes all of like 5 seconds to make. They're very portable. You take and put some Nutella inside of it as soon as you take it off the griddle there or whatever out the pan, and roll it up and put, like, that's so portable. And for kids, like, that's, but Nutella crepe, oh, that sounds Sounds lovely.
So there's lots of different options for you, but that is one thing you need to have no matter where you are in Paris or France. If you're looking for more of a sit-down meal kind of thing, of course, there's always steak frites. So steak entrecôte with fries. It sounds silly, but it sounds simple, but it's fantastic. That's always a great go-to. Really great beef here in France and in Paris, okay? Another great one is duck, the confit de canard, which is probably the best. It's like slow roasted duck. Oh my God, it is incredible. And when you have,
I mean, duck in and of itself is it's lovely. That actually sounds and looks like something I would 100% eat the hell
when
out
you're
of.
here, everything is better with everything is better in the world. And then if you're here in Paris, look, France is wine. And when you're here in Paris, you'll have the option to buy wines from all over the country. And so please do that. Enjoy the French wines when you are here, because even if you're just sitting at a cafe having a glass of wine with your croque monsieur or just, a little snack, it is something that just makes you feel like you're here in Paris, okay? So another thing you're gonna see is quite famous here is foie gras, which is, goose liver, pate, basically. And some people have very strong feelings about it, but it's something you can have when you are here. I know I've had it multiple times. What you'll get the pate, and they'll give you some bread. You put it on there, maybe with a little jam or a chutney on it as well. It could be fantastic. And there's just so many.
I'm sorry, any kind of liver doesn't sound great. The minerally, it being done in a pate as well. I mean, if it's food, I'm down to try most anything once at least. That'd be one of those ones I'm sure probably you'd want to try different combinations just as if you don't like it, to make sure you don't like it. Maybe take and put it on bread, like you said, with some jam or something like that, or some kind of chutney. I wonder how that would taste with some of the pickling and stuff that I've taken and gotten from over in England. Anyways,
Great food you're going to have when you're here. And I got to let you know, when you go out to eat in France or in Paris, I mean, there's so many options you have that asking someone where's a good place to eat is like asking what air should I breathe, if it's all good, okay? So you have a lot of options. One thing I will say is if you're going to come to eat in Paris, if you're going to be here on weekends, make sure you make a reservation for dinner because the restaurants book out. And restaurants might not have like every 15-minute sittings. It might be, we have a 7 o'clock sitting and a 9 o'clock sitting, okay? So if you have kids, realize that some of the restaurants don't serve at like 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock. Their kitchen might not be open. That's why some of those snacks I talk about, those are gonna be easier to get during the day. So be aware of that. Also, know when you go to eat in France, it's not about fast eating. Yes, they have Quick, which is their version of McDonald's, which actually is awesome. If you're looking for fast food, Quick is great. But honestly, you need to have patience when you're here, getting your menu, sitting down, getting your food, getting your water, getting your appetizer and your main course and your desserts that you have to have every course because it's France and you're gonna love it. But you have to have patience with it, okay? So be aware of that. And also, I know I say get reservations on the weekend, but if you're here in the summer during tourist season, it actually wouldn't be a bad idea to make reservations during the week as well, okay? So I've got a little hungry talking about all this and it's about 1 o'clock, so I need to go.
The fact that kids are eating frog legs, I tried to get my kids to take and try frog legs whenever I went gigging last time and come back with a couple of good sized frogs. They weren't having it. I love frog leg. I grew up eating it. Hell, I'll take and eat damn near any animal. Frog, squirrel, yeah, possum, like I'll try most anything. I love me some squirrel though. Deep fried squirrel.
Grab myself maybe some French onion soup or maybe I'm gonna go get the duck. I think I'm gonna go for the duck today. Anyway, I wish you all the best. Have a great time here in Paris. If you want more, we've got safety advice for Paris, the don'ts of Paris, scams of Paris, tourist traps of Paris. Basically, anything you want to know from getting to CDG to Paris and more, we've got on our website at waltersworld.com, or just find us here on YouTube and put in Paris Walters World. Lots of stuff will show up. So thank you to all our patrons and members who help make honest travel videos like this possible. If you want to learn how to, go to patreon.com/waltersworld to find out more.
All right, so I definitely would try 99.999% of the food that was shown in this. Now, I might take a look at some other videos for some other French food, because it seems like this is more of a touristy type look at the French food that's over there. But just a simple fact of like frog legs, that's actually in the video. Hard to find frog legs. Dude, I would eat the hell out of some frog legs. But I would eat 90% of that. The confit duck thing, and I would try the goose, the pate, right? I would try that. I don't care for liver for the most part. It's just But just yeah, everything that was on there, I would definitely try. So I hope y'all enjoyed this. Y'all have a good each other. Love yourselves. Peace.